Welcome to the HyperFast Show, where we believe unlimited growth in business and life is created by surrounding yourself with people who have been where you are going. Learning from others allows you to compress time and grow hyper fast. And now, here are your hosts, Keri Shull and Dan Lesniak. Keri and Dan are real estate developers, best-selling authors, billion-dollar agents, and million-dollar agent makers. And now, get ready to grow hyper fast.
I'm really excited to have a local panel here with you guys today. These are exceptional agents and brokers, and I'm going to let them quickly just say a couple bullet points about who they are in the same fashion that we did this morning, so you guys have some perspective. So Kara, we'll start with you.
Hi, I'm Kara Chaffin Donofrio. I am the managing broker for our Arlington office for Long Foster and oversee about $500 million a year in volume through our agents. So.
That's a lot of volume, right?
How you doing? I'm Forrest Odendhal. I run the Old Town Alexandria office. Is that right? For Long Foster. It's been 5 years. I've got it down now. But I have but in 2002, after 12 years in the business, I was recognized as number 41 agent in the nation by Realtor Magazine. 133 units, 28 million. And that is actually a story of failure, not success. And I'll tell you why in a minute.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Oh,
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Chevez with the CAZA group of Keller Williams Realty in Reston. I run a team called the CAZA group, and we did 117 million last year, and I'm excited to be here. So thanks.
Excited to have you. Okay, so Kara, you have a unique vantage point because you have over 100 agents that you're helping with their vision and their business plan. So how many of you guys feel like you've struggled with creating a vision for your life and career in the past? 3 of you. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot more of you are raising your hands now. So in your perspective, what are the most important things for the audience to consider when they're creating their vision for their business and their life?
So one of the things that I see that's really sad is that a lot of times I see agents that just kind of work deal to deal, right? You're going from transaction to transaction in this kind of tunnel vision and not really taking time to really think about what is the bigger vision for your life. And so one of my goals is to help inspire people to create that next level vision. And really it starts with truly just setting a date and time for yourself to dream, right? To actually think about what it is you're trying to create. So when you think about next level vision, not only are you thinking about what it is that you want to create in your business, so how many years do you want to be in the business? Do you want to sell it at some point? But also, what do you want for your life? What does your family life look like? What does wealth look like to you? And so for me personally, I know that I set a time each year to connect to that kind of creative part of yourself that knows and is there to help you set this bigger vision. So I'd encourage you to set a time for yourself where you can allow yourself to dream about what it is that you want out of life. And it really just starts with getting clear on what that vision is first, and then we'll talk a little bit about how you get there in a minute. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. Forrest, you left us with the cliffhanger.
I did indeed,
41st in the country,
right,
and feeling like a failure. Why is that?
So the bottom line is I enjoyed a lot of success those first 12 years, and it was nice. And what we focus on in our industry is volume and units. And the more volume I did, I kept setting higher and higher goals. But the reality was doing all of that business and creating, gross commission income on 28 million, and you guys can do the numbers, my net worth was only 300,000. So it isn't how much you make, it's how much you keep, and it's what you do with it. Now, we had gone through, I don't know if anybody is old enough in the room to remember, but 2000 to 2002, we had what was called the tech crash. And I thought I was really smart, so I'd take all my money, I'd flip properties, I'd make income, and I'd give it to my buddy Rob over at Scott & Stringfellow, and we would invest in great companies like American Online, Cisco, Qualcomm, all of that. So I thought I was a tech genius, and everybody was in the 90s because you couldn't pick anything that wasn't working out for you. Then 2000 hit, and everything divided in half. So now instead of being worth over 500,000 net worth, so I was going to be a millionaire owning stocks, but the reality is I'm an expert in real estate. So I changed course in 2002 and said, no more, no more. I'm going to just invest in what I know. Now my net worth goes up over $300,000 per year rather than the first 12 years, $300,000 total.
Awesome. How many of you guys feel like your net worth is part of the equation for your future vision to create the freedom that you want? Awesome. Okay, Rob, I'm going to ask you a tough one.
Oh.
What do you think for yourself personally has prevented you from reaching your vision in the past or stopped you from thinking big enough?
One of my biggest regrets was that I tried to figure it all out myself for the first 5 years, right? I didn't ask enough questions. You know, there's people that have walked this path before us, and I just felt that I hadn't earned the right to ask the question for whatever reason, some mental garbage that was there. So I just grinded. I knew that through hard work I could accomplish anything, but I really wish that I'd sat down with people that had done it before, had built the business I wanted, both from a GCI perspective, but a wealth perspective as well, because you need to look under the hood and understand who your profits are, like who are you following? I wish I'd done that sooner. So, and I regret not doing it sooner.
That's really good advice.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to a lot of agents that have hired a coach and they're emulating their business plan and they don't understand their net income.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. So if any of you are following a coach and you haven't had a serious conversation about what they're left with at the end of the year, I would really encourage you to have that conversation, even though it may feel a little uncomfortable depending on your relationship with money when you get home today. Like, have it, because if you're building it based on something that you don't understand all the way, that could end up with you reaching your vision only to find out that it's a failure, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Kara, back to you. Okay. So with all the agents that you've helped, what do you see for successfully being able to create the vision? What are the tips that you have for people?
So again, I think that the first step is just to set a time to actually do it, to sit down and do it. But I think that, you know, in terms of, first, it's making that date for yourself, getting clear on the vision. And then a lot of people don't make a business. So who here hears the word business plan and kind of cringes just a little bit, right? Yeah. So what happens is they got into this business because they wanted freedom, and then they hear the word business plan and it feels very restrictive, right? Anybody can relate to that? So I think what you actually, the business plan actually can be really exciting, I think, when you have the right vision. Because when you know where you're going, the business plan is really just the action items and steps that you're going to take to actually help you get to the larger vision. So sitting down and taking that time, and I think the other thing that kind of holds people back from doing it is that they don't know how to do it. They don't know where the resources are, and so then they just stop dead in their tracks, right? And they don't do it at all. So I think that the other thing is knowing who to reach out to and knowing when to ask for help, whether that's a coach or a mentor, or I know in our offices we help our agents with, you know, creating a business plan for themselves. So actually, you know, reaching out for help and having somebody walk you through those steps to help you get to that larger vision.
I have a question for the audience real quick. How many of you guys have a business plan? Don't say you do if you don't. Okay, so I'd say that's about half of you. How many of you feel like it really is setting you up to optimize your success? You're really proud of your business plan and it aligns with what you want in the future? Okay, so probably 25% of the room. So that's exactly right. Right on. Mm-hmm. Forrest, for you, I know that when you internalized, wow, I've worked really hard and yet I feel like a failure, you decided to do something about it for anyone else who might end up in your shoes. So how many of you guys actually wish, you feel like you've worked so hard and you wish you had more to show for it in terms of your net income? Whether you invested poorly or something went wrong. So the reason that I decided Forrest was perfect to be on the panel is he's really passionate about making a difference for people who want to have a higher net income. So talk to us a little bit about the path you've taken since you had that aha moment.
So I want everybody to be a millionaire. And my way of doing it is not the only way to be a millionaire. It just is going to make you a millionaire. So if you do it, you'll be a millionaire. And here's why. So when you invest in real estate has income, it has appreciation, depreciation, and principal reduction. It all works in unison. So currently my wife and I have $10 million worth of real estate. If real estate gains on average 5% per year, which it does, in the United States, then just waking up January 1st, I know that my net worth is going to go up $500,000, and that's just one component. See, so once you own it, all of it continues to work. But the biggest thing is, I have agents that will come to me and talk about their split. Is anybody in this room on what we call a split? It's a little split joke. But anyhow, this is what's going on. What you don't understand is you're probably on a 57% split with the government right now before you consider $128,400 that you're going to pay both sides of your Social Security. So likely you may be on a 60-40 split before you ever come talk to me. Okay? Depreciation. Every dollar that you can depreciate by owning real estate, you do not pay tax on that dollar. Okay, every dollar that you depreciate in real estate, since 1994, tax code 1185, you have unlimited depreciation. Unlimited. If you have $300,000 worth of depreciation, wipe it off your income. What would you be paying in taxes on that $300,000? And this is what the government's saying. Take that money and build your wealth, and you may never have to pay us. It's totally up to you. We don't want your money. We want you to become wealthier. Okay? That's depreciation. That's one of the four. You have income, appreciation, depreciation, and principal reduction.
Wait. Before you pass that, I got to follow that real quick. So how many of you guys feel like he was speaking another language? Anybody? Or some of you, is it fair to say, no one's going to raise their hand for that. I should have asked the question differently. Is it fair to say that if Forrest was willing to walk you guys through how he's accomplished the goal of making $500,000 and also having some cash flow, some of you might be interested in learning more about his strategy? He does not, this is not a coaching program. This isn't a get-rich scheme. This isn't something where he is selling something. He does this because he's passionate about helping agents succeed in their life, okay? So, Forrest, you do events, and sometimes it's at a Long Foster or at a Weichert or at a KW, at an office, right? But sometimes you have them for the public as well. If anyone in the crowd wants to reach out to you to find out about your next event, is there an email where they could email you, or how would you want them to get in touch?
Yeah, that's perfect. Email me at Forrest, Forrest, Odendhal, Forrest.Odendhal, at LNF, We do a seminar. It's 2.5 hours. It's free. I have wonderful agents in my office that assist with this just because they're passionate about it. My biggest disappointment was I did not know of these advantages until I was in the business. All of these advantages, 19 years. I only sold for 20 years. I was in the business 19 years and had no clue about this stuff. Also, you can invest. You can take your retirement money. You can put $56,000 a year in 2019 in your retirement. You can take that, convert it to a self-directed IRA, and own real estate inside of your retirement. It's called a self-directed IRA. My wife owns 2 condos cash. Tax-free money it is creating. She's growing wealthy, not paying any tax on the gain. She could sell the properties, not pay any tax. It's the same as owning anything in your IRA.
So you guys, how many of you are using a self-directed IRA for real estate right now? If you're not, you have to go. Kara and I just started doing this year. And
he inspired me. So actually, I owe it to him.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No. It's huge. It's huge. It's an amazing opportunity for you guys to get your money out of something you don't control and put yourself in the driver's seat of making sure that you're successful. So I really recommend that you email him. Do me a favor. We're going to split because I learned this last time. In case you missed how to spell his name, repeat your email one more time, but don't spell it. They can see it now.
Okay, just Forrest.Odendhal at LNF, Lincoln Nor Frank. Just don't put the apostrophe, so maybe I should just put my thumb in. Right?
Okay, perfect. And then, Rob, I have one more question for you,
Sure.
and we're going to rush off the stage so you all can eat. If you were to give one piece of advice based on, earlier you said kind of what stopped you, based on a common fear that you see when you're coaching your agents, what's one piece of advice to help them set a vision that's huge?
So I'm going to stick on the wealth building piece because, that's my piece, right? Most agents that I talk to, their biggest complaint is, or their worry is that they don't have any money, right? They're like, well, I don't have the money to buy a rental. Stop making your clients rich and partner with them, right? You control the keys because you understand, you need to go out and understand what a good asset is when you purchase it. You don't need the money, what you need is the knowledge. So one of the biggest things I want agents to understand is that through knowledge, they can create these partnerships and actually own 50% of that asset without putting any money into the actual property itself. And then, this is what I did during the downturn. I bought a ton of properties with wealthy people because at the time, I didn't have the money, but I had the knowledge. And I want people to understand that this business is there to fund your life. And so you need to take advantage of self-directed IRAs. You need to take advantage of having a better net income and start focusing on building your wealth. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I'm passionate about this piece, right? Build a big life by buying assets, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's give everybody a big hand.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the HyperFast Show. Subscribe to us if you want to make sure you get the latest and greatest HyperFast shows. And remember, we love reviews. Reviews help us bring better and better guests and improve our shows. So give us the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.